seasoned it once, light seasoning, salt, and then my seasoning our grill party does. But what I'm getting ready to do now is take this, which is some homemade pickles that I make, but I'm gonna take the pickling juice and I'm gonna mix it with mustard, and I'm going to slather it on this brisket and put the final coat of seasoning on this brisket. And here we go. So I'm basically gonna take this pickling and this mustard and I'm gonna rub it into the pores of the meat. I know you see a lot of guys online talking about don't rub your meat. Damn that. I grew up, this is how I learned how to cook. I grew up learning that you're supposed to rub your meat. So I don't want this to just lay on the meat. I'm gonna rub it in and get all of that good brine from that pickling, all that good mustard, and all that good seasoning that I already put on there worked into it. And man, if you could smell it, it smells really, really, really good. And I use the seasoning, what I use for my pickling is my Rgrill party dust. I'm actually gonna do a video on that, man. That Rgrill party dust with some vinegar and some sugar is one amazing pickling if you haven't tried it as a pickling. That's the front side, we're gonna do the back side. And so I'm just gonna work it in and then I'm gonna re-season it. All areas of the meat. You know, you see a lot of folks that use mustard. I've used mustard before on like pulled pork and whole briskets. I like mustard on brisket. I mean, I don't think it changes the taste. Some people would have you believe that it changes the taste of the meat. I don't think so. I think what it really does is it really helps to create a nice crust and a nice bark. But I don't think you get much of the vinegar, much of the vinegar flavor of the mustard. So this is my first time using pickling juice. So I've got that side seasoned up. I'm rubbing it in. Now I'm going back on top with my seasoning. I'm going back on top with my seasoning Rgrill party dust. This is the final coat right here. I'm not gonna rub this in. I'm just gonna let it lay on the meat. And then we're gonna go to the pit with it. Man, this brisket smells amazing. And some people may look at it and say, man, that brisket's too wet. Nah, we ain't worried about that, man. The wetter the brisket, the better the smoke. The better the smoke that's gonna lay on it, man. That's why you see a lot of guys, especially on pit masters, I was one of them, using apple juice pans in their smoker, because the more moisture, the more condensation and moisture in the pit, man, the better smoke flavor you get on your meat. So I'm gonna let that sit there. I'm gonna go ahead and light my pit and we'll be back. But there it is, pickle juice, mustard, and Rgrill party dust.
A little seasoned, not seasoned, but I'm gonna light my pit with some of this cowboy charcoal, all natural hardwood briquettes, really good stuff, man. And of course, some Western oak on that brisket. So here we go. And I'm just cooking this on a little Weber. Don't need that much. We're gonna light it up and I'll be right back. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, we're doing a brisket point today. Got a little pickle juice pickling that I make, and some yellow mustard. Rubbed it all down on a piece of brisket point, man. It's gonna be some good eating, man. So I'm just sitting out here enjoying a fine whiskey and waiting on my coals to get right. So y'all stay tuned, man. Looking forward to a good cook today. Hopefully I can get it all done before the sun go down on me. Got started a little late, but this is what I'm looking at right now on the meat. My meat right there, man. Just waiting on the pit. That thing looking pretty damn good. Hopefully this camera does it justice, man, but that thing is beautiful. And this is where we are on the fire, man. We're gonna take this right here. We got about 4 pieces of oak right there in that charcoal tray. Gonna let that burn down and we'll get to cooking in just a minute. All right, good people, we're going on. We're going on the pit. We're not gonna worry about that little flame right there. We're going on the pit. I'm gonna go ahead and close the lid up and get that thing started. But as you look and see, that thing is beautiful, man. That's a beautiful brisket point. So y'all stay tuned. I got, to run back through it, I got 4 pieces of Western oak under those charcoals right now. That's pretty much what's flaming up. And we're gonna choke it down a little bit and let it roll, and we'll be back. We're gonna try to knock this one out in about 4 to 5 hours. And again, this is a brisket point, not flat. Earlier I said flat, it's not a flat. It's a brisket point. Stay tuned. All right, let's take a look at this brisket. It's been about an hour in. Thing is looking pretty good. It's actually dried up pretty nice. The bark has set pretty good. It looks really good. What I'm gonna do is, I got some pecan dust and pecan shells. I'm gonna add those to the fire. It adds a nice little piece of smoke, man. Pecan shells is really nice, man, and pecan dust also. So I'm just gonna cover it up and let it keep going, man. And we'll come back out here and check it in another 30 minutes to an hour. I just added those pecan shells, but let me turn it around a little bit. Let me go ahead and flip it around. That's the good thing about these racks right here. Easy to move your meat around. So I'm gonna let it sit over here for a little bit. I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. And that's it. I'm gonna let that burn down. I'll come back out in another 45 minutes to an hour and check it. All right, I'm losing daylight, but that's all right. We're gonna keep on cooking, baby. Let's see what we got there. Let's see if we can zoom in on that thing. Getting some nice little bark on there. Nice little crust. The mustard and the pine and the pickling seem to be doing a very nice job. Let me get a close-up on that thing. Look at that. Got a little bit of pooling right there, but that thing look good, man. Nice crust so far. Yeah, man. I added 2 pieces of oak in there, but that thing look pretty good. So, I'm gonna let it roll for another hour. Then I'm gonna wrap it up. That'll be 3 hours in. Y'all stay tuned. All right, that time has come. It is time to wrap the brisket. But before I do it, I'm gonna take a temp real quick. See what I'm looking at. Let's take a temp, see what we're looking at. We're about 153, which is perfect. Right before the stall. So let's grab it. And there it is. Let's see if we can get a close-up on that thing. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Pickling, and mustard, and Rgrill party dust. That's beautiful though. All right, so let me go ahead and get this thing wrapped up. Y'all excuse all the camera, all this bad cameraing. What I have here is a brisket marinade that I always use, not really to flavor my brisket, but it's more for like the after effects when I go to cut it, and I like a little au jus to dip my brisket in, so it just really helps with the au jus. It helps the flavor, and I'm gonna pour a lot of it in there. And piece of foil. And I got it in a foil pan. It's a small point, so ain't no need to waste a bunch of foil and waste all them juices by wrapping it in foil directly. And what I'm also gonna do is add a few coals to the fire. Now that's the same load of charcoal. I don't know if you can see it. Let's pan out. That's the same load of charcoal right there that I started with 3.5 hours ago. And again, that cowboy hardwood briquettes, that's some good stuff right there. Gonna throw a few of them in there. Move them around. Put the grate back on. Won't be adding any more wood. The whole smoking process is over. Take our brisket point with the foil. set this shot up a little better so y'all can see it. See everything. Like I said, excuse all the footage, the camera faux pauses. I can't wait till this daylight savings time stuff is over, man, so we can get more daylight. I'm not a fan of that getting dark at 5 o'clock. But anyway, we're gonna let our charcoals blaze up a little bit. All I'm gonna do is put the lid back on and crack it over here on the side a little bit to vent it a little bit so that charcoal can speed up a little bit. And that's it. Y'all hang loose. We ain't finished with it yet. I'll be back with y'all once we do the next step. Let's check it out. We're about 5 hours into the cook. I actually came out here to take a temp. Let's see. You can see the temperature out here is probably like, what is that? About 67. I actually think it's colder than that. Anyway, let's get this brisket. Oh, I had it on hold. 1 second. Don't worry, get it together. Let's see what we got there. 207, 208. Look good to me. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna take it off, take it in the house, and we'll see what it look like. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we're finally finished. It's took us about 5.5 hours to get that brisket point done, but it looks beautiful. We temped it out at about 208 degrees. It went in like butter. Looks beautiful. Just to recap, I make a pickling that I use to pickle cucumbers and red onions. I use that along with yellow mustard. First, I seasoned the brisket with salt and a little bit of Rgrill party dust, and then I put the pickling and yellow mustard mixture on top, rubbed it all in, and then redusted it with some Rgrill party dust. Looks good, smells amazing. We cooked it off on a Weber grill with some cowboy charcoal, hardwood briquettes, some Western Premium Barbecue oak chunks, and also a few pecan shells that I had. So everything looks good. And what I've done now is I'm resting it, but I took off all of the juices. I'm gonna take the good juices, use those to re-dredge the meat in, and we'll throw the fat away, of course. So stay tuned, man. We'll be cutting it up in about an hour. Think you in for a treat. It's ready. Looks good. It's beautiful, man. Looks really, 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 really good. Let me see if I can zoom in on that thing a little bit. Man, it's good. It looks really good. Really, really, really good. Let's go ahead and get that thing cut up. All right. So we're going to cut it down the middle, of course. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll take this piece and get it out the way. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and get some cuts in. Ooh, boy, it's beautiful. It's still hot though. Man, look at that. Ooh, boy. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, boy. Ooh, wee, that's some good eating right there. Let's go ahead and put a plate together. I don't know if y'all can see this. I got some pickled onions, some pickles. We'll throw a little bit of that beautiful brisket point on that plate. Man, that's some good eating right there, man. That's some good eating right there. Look at that. Look at that. I gotta close up. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness, man. Look at that, man. Ooh, boy. Y'all stay tuned for a minute. All right, guys. Thanks for being patient. Sorry about all the bad camera work, man. I'm still getting this YouTube thing figured out. I'm so used to being behind the camera and not have to do all that, but it's all good. But man, this is some good brisket, man. So what I did is I just put a little plate together. Pickled onions, some pickles, probably what you see in a Texas barbecue restaurant. But let me tell you something. That pickling with that mustard on the brisket, especially the pickling. I've had mustard on brisket before. But that pickling mixed with that mustard on that brisket is phenomenal. That's some good eating. You don't taste any vinegar, but it's got a nice little twang to it, but it's not vinegary. But that's really, really good. So, well, I gotta take another bite of that. Trying to eat the fat. So if you haven't tried pickling, dill pickle juice or whatever, if you make your own pickling, Mix it with a little bit of mustard, slide it on your brisket, and give it a try. You can't let it sit on the brisket too long, maybe 20 to 25 minutes at max before you put it on the grill, because the brisket, the vinegar will definitely start to eat away at the brisket and probably tighten it up too much or toughen it up too much. But give it a try, man. Look at that. That's some good stuff, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Thanks for watching. And please, if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. Wow. Talk to you later.